Hello everybody and welcome to the United Stand. The name of the show is Mourinho Out, and of course did that for one simple reason. If you are Jose Mourinho out, then you should be out and not supporting Manchester United. It's farcical, absolutely farcical to have that opinion at the moment. I have criticisms which I'm going to speak about in a minute, but I've told you this for the last 2 weeks. I've said in the summer that the blame 100% is with the players. You cannot have 30 odd chances on goal. You cannot have over 12 chances on target and not score and then blame the manager. You cannot have the last 4 games in a row and not score and have the amount of chances we've had and blame the manager. We're in a ridiculous situation now where when you compare Moyes, Van Gaal and Mourinho's first season at United, he's got 15. I think Moyes had 17 points at this stage of the season and Van Gaal had 20. Points don't lie. Points do not lie. And I can't move away from that. But what I want to say is that the football has never been as good as it is now with Mourinho. So the book stops with the players. What I am disappointed with is that I saw Rui Farah, isn't it? Or I probably pronounced it wrong, who's his assistant manager. He came out after the game and he's basically looking like a soppy wet fish saying, oh, we feel sorry for ourselves, couldn't ask for anything more from the players. I can ask for more from the players. You can ask for more from the players. It's called putting the ball in the back of the net. I feel really sorry for Herrera, Pogba and Mata because I thought against Stoke they were fantastic and I thought today they were fantastic, but they are let down by the players ahead of them not putting the ball into the back of the net. And there's one big culprit and he's a player that I've loved for a long time. I think he's one of the great icons, Zlatan Ibrahimovic. He can't miss the amount of chances he's missed. He is missing sitter after sitter after sitter. It's not good enough. He needs to be dropped. But we are being defined. We are Manchester United. And this is a problem that keeps reoccurring and reoccurring and reoccurring. We are Manchester United. We have a bigger history and story than any other sporting club in the world. And we are being defined by characters who think they are bigger. Zlatan should be dropped. I'm a massive fan of his, but he's not putting the ball in the back of the net. He should be dropped. Rooney should be dropped, as he has been, and he shouldn't be coming on every game because he is not good enough. That's 2 players who are messing about with what we should be doing. Rashford should be number 9. Martial should be on the left. Mkhitaryan should be on the right. Forget bad attitudes. Forget status and start playing a team that works for Manchester United, not what works for Zlatan Ibrahimovic or what works for Wayne Rooney. That's where it's going wrong. It's the players. I accept Mourinho is a contributing factor to that as the manager, and I cannot defend him on what I call despicable substitutions, bringing Marouane Fellaini on the pitch and Wayne Rooney on the pitch and taking Juan Mata and Lingard off. Up until that sending off with Herrera, we were playing fast, direct football, intricate football, and it was causing Burnley problems. There was no reason to change it. Why bring Fellaini on as a defensive midfielder when you've got Michael Carrick on the bench? When you've spent the last press conference waxing lyrical about how good Carrick is and 20 minutes of the game, Mr. Experience to dictate things, and you bring Fellaini on. I'm fed up to the back teeth of Marouane Fellaini being anywhere near a Manchester United shirt. People can defend him and say it's not his fault we didn't win the game. I accept that. We should have scored before Herrera was sent off. But bringing him on killed that game. But somehow, by some miracle, we still managed to forge 2 absolute golden opportunities. Back to Ibrahimovic and Rooney. Zlatan should have scored his goal on the back post. But Rooney's cut back under no pressure, virtually the last kick of the game, on the penalty spot, over the bar, is a disgrace. Are we taking... And the thing is, I said this in the first half. What worries me when we haven't scored after 60 minutes is I know what's going to happen. Regardless whether Mata's the man of the match, and apparently Mata was man of the match, regardless of what happens, you get nervous around the 60-minute mark because you know he's going to take Mata off for Rooney. It's like night after day. It's like day after night. It's going to happen. And because we've got to accommodate Rooney, because we've got to give him the captain's armband, because we love Rooney, because we're never going to sell Rooney. Well, I'm sorry. Why does he have to come on every game? Why do we bring him on every game? Because even when you bring him on, he doesn't really do much. I mean, and then he misses an absolute sitter like that. The blame is with the players. I'm not looking for any other hiding place. I disagree with the assistant manager coming out saying I feel sorry for the players. This is Burnley, who even when we went down to 10 men, sat back and defended what was like Christmas to them, a point. It's disgraceful. We are so far, forget the title, we're nowhere near that. We are going to struggle to get fifth at where we are at the moment. We are so far off the pace. The squad, I did an article on the website 2 weeks ago. It is riddled with dead wood. Why he didn't come in and get rid of at least 5 players in the summer, I do not know. Why he persists with Ibrahimovic, Rooney, I do not know. Biggest of all, why he uses Marouane Fellaini. Even Gary Neville said last Sunday against Chelsea that Fellaini was an absolute disgrace. And yet he's our option when we need a goal with 10 men. I think Herrera got sent off today because Jesse Lingard shouldn't have started and he played a bad pass. And Herrera was left in a bad position where he picks up a yellow card. And I think the second yellow card by Clattenburg, I've been consistent about Clattenburg for years. He's an awful referee. He's a media whore. He loves the publicity, and he was waiting for an opportunity to dish even more dirt on United today. And unfortunately, that slip by Herrera gave him the golden opportunity. By the letter of the law, it's a second yellow card. But by the letter of the law, Darmian's was a penalty. So I think most referees would not have sent Herrera off for that because it was a blatant slip. It wasn't reckless. There was a tackle in the second half apparently by Burnley that was a reckless tackle that should have been a penalty as well. But Clattenburg came with one thing in his mind today, and he's this sort of referee. He came with one thing in his mind, and that was to screw Manchester United over and get some publicity for himself. God knows why Mourinho was in the stands, probably because he criticised him for not giving a penalty. As I said before, he'd have given 5 penalties to City for that. It was so blatant on Darmian, but that's luck. You can't argue about referees and luck though when you miss the opportunities that we have. And it comes back to the same thing. Jose Mourinho may well have 15 points compared to Moyes' 17 and Van Gaal's 20 at this stage of the season. But it doesn't take a magician or, sorry, one wrong word, rocket scientist to figure out if our players could finish, we'd have 2 more points from Stoke, we'd have 2 more points from today, that's 4, and we would have beaten Liverpool because Zlatan's miss was ridiculous, so that's another 2. So you can't, Mourinho out, you're having an absolute laugh. Some of the football we've been playing has been scintillating, but unfortunately the players do not deserve to wear a Manchester United shirt because you cannot miss the chances they are missing. It is bordering on neglect. It is bordering on being absolutely rubbish. They are rubbish. You can't miss those opportunities. You can't miss those opportunities. We have missed those opportunities. And I'm very worried about where we are going to be this season because it's become abundantly clear to me, and I think probably a lot of you as well, is that this side is just not good enough. The players are not good enough. They don't care. They just don't care enough. But most of all, this is about players becoming bigger than Manchester United. I think it's always a danger when you give people contracts and you pay people like money desperately, please sign for us, like Rooney and Zlatan, and then they don't start performing, and then you've left yourself where players are actually bigger than the club, and that makes me feel sick because nobody is bigger than this club. Mourinho, well, he's going to have to face the press backlash. He's going to have to face, ridiculously, some of our own fans saying he's not good enough, and the pressure will go higher and higher. But all I would say is I'm not in that camp. I'm not Mourinho out because I can see that what we're actually doing is the right things. We're just being let down by individuals. I can't defend him. I can't defend any manager. I am fed up to the back teeth of Rooney being brought on and also Fellaini. Why is that happening? That is bordering on being a Vauxhall Conference manager, and we've had 3 in a row who's done this now. I don't understand the Fellaini substitution. I don't understand why we're picking him. It just makes me sick to the stomach. And the same with Rooney. I don't understand it. The bench today was abhorrent. It was rubbish. You knew, as with the Stoke game, if we get to 60-70 minutes, we are in trouble because that bench, when you looked at it, 3 defensive players, Carrick, Schneidlin and Fellaini. Rooney, rubbish for 2 years. Memphis, rubbish in the whole time he's been here. And Ashley Young, who's basically been a fullback for 3 years. So there's nothing on there. And this Mkhitaryan thing is really weird. One of the best players in European football last year. And we are not picking him because he's not quite ready. Well, I'll tell you what I would say about that to Mourinho is, he's not quite ready. We're not top of the league, winning points and games all over the place, that we have the luxury to not use one of the best players in European football. I don't give a damn whether he's ready or not. He is better than everybody on our bench and most of our players on the pitch today. Whether he's a risk or not, we are not in the luxury of not being able to take risks. Where's Anthony Martial? Where's Fosu Mensah? Where's Chris Smalling? You know, are they all injured, or is there something going on at this club? Questions need to be answered. They won't be answered because fans are kept in the dark like mushrooms. But it's not good enough. It's another weekend ruined. I tell you what, I've watched Songs of Praise more over the last 18 months than I have Match of the Day. And I used to watch it every week. I'm fed up of it. Absolutely fed up of it. And the book stops with the people on the pitch. You can't play like we have been playing for the last few games and come out of 4 games with 3 points and not scoring 1 goal. Last 4 games, Manchester United Premier League games, have not scored a goal, and in the last 4 games we've taken 3 points from 12. It is disgraceful, and to be honest, I'm at the point now where I don't care if Mourinho sells the whole squad and starts again, because for some of these players, like Ashley Young, like Wayne Rooney, they've been here for the last 3 years and it's been disgraceful, and these signings have been here for a long time and it's been disgraceful. It's the players, and I've had enough of it. Thanks everybody for watching. Get commenting below. But if you're Mourinho out, have a word with yourself. It's too early to be anywhere near even thinking that. And if you can't see that the players are the problem, then you're not watching the games. Thanks for watching. Speak to you soon, and do tune in tomorrow night at 8:30 because it's going to be real. It's going to be very real because there's going to be a lot to be said. But thanks everyone for watching. Just so hard to be a United fan, and the reality is, I think what I would leave you with is this: it's hard. You can lose games, but I think what's frustrating us all is looking at the lineup every week, looking at the individuals and going, we wouldn't lose that game if that person hadn't been used or if that person had been dropped, and that's been going on for too long because the club is not being put first. Everybody's bigger than the club. It's about individuals and not the club. Thanks for watching.